Hello and welcome back to Life at Sparrows End, and a really big welcome to some new subscribers that I've got that haven't come here from my main channel. So a quick explanation before I start my next garden tour. I have a main channel called Sparrows End, and on that channel I put out videos that show how I make money online and how that money then enables me to live the lifestyle that you will see on this channel. And whilst the majority of you have come across from that channel, and I'm so grateful and really happy that you've decided that you'd like to see more of my day-to-day life, I'm also thrilled to welcome some new people as well. So I have been out already and I've filmed my tour, and I've come back inside to do the introduction, and that's simply because it is so bright outside. The sunlight is tremendous and delightful and I'm enjoying it, but it does make it quite difficult to record out there, and that's because I'm recording on my iPhone and it hasn't quite got the guts to cope with such bright light. Now, I don't know what you're going to make of my follow-up garden tour. I can't quite remember what state the garden was in, other than it was pretty bad when I last filmed in April. There's some wonderful things happening in the garden at the moment. The roses are coming into bloom, the peonies are in full bloom and have been for the last week. A lot of my projects are starting to come together, and I've ticked off a few of those jobs that I talked about in the last video. But I think one of the things that you will see is that there's still so much to do. Anyway, that's enough waffle for me. Over to the garden tour. We're going to start our garden tour then on my back doorstep, and you can see I haven't really tidied this area up very much. When I went to go and use my broom, it had broken. I've managed to treat the window box, which was suffering from some aphid problems. I think it was actually mealybugs in here. I sprayed it with a solution with a bit of fairy liquid in it, and that seemed to do the trick. Wish I'd done it earlier because I kind of lost most of what was in here, but I will replant it up at some point. You can see that I have painted that fence panel that I was talking about. Could do with a second coat, but that will be fine for this year. I will need to buy some more cuprinol to do that anyway. I've put these up on the fence, these little pockets, because I'd really like to grow salad and herbs in them so that it's a little bit closer to the house. So far, I've got a couple of lettuces that are doing absolutely fine in here, and I've got some mint in these three pockets. That all seems to be fine, and then obviously I will plant up the rest of these at some point in the next couple of weeks. I've moved the little cold frame that I found at the bottom of the garden. I've moved that back up here now. The fence behind it still needs painting. That needs just a bit of a kind of clean and wipe over, and then I'll be able to put some seeds in there. I've got a little pile of junk here, but actually this old bathroom storage thing, I'm going to put some pots and things in that at some point as well. Hopefully some trailing things that will hang down and look really lovely. This little area, as you can see here, is a complete mess, but I did say that it will be a working area probably until about July. Certainly once we get into July I will convert it into a lovely seating area, but actually at the moment it's just a really great growing spot because it's so hot and sunny in this particular patch. Just to show you some stuff that's here, this is the spinach that I was growing, which also got attacked by the little bugs. That has also been treated now and will hopefully start to perk up again. We just got some pots and bits and pieces that I'm working with. There's potatoes in there, which I will just earth up every so often. So these two pots I haven't dealt with yet. What have we got over here? Carrots are coming along really nicely now, actually. More and more of them have germinated. I've kind of left them alone and just watered them, but they are looking good. So in this tray I had got some little chicory seedlings, but overnight they got eaten by slugs or snails, and then because this had sort of recycled compost in it, then these little tomato seedlings have come up. This just needs dealing with, and the compost recycling. I've got over here, so my lettuces are doing fantastically well. I've got 4 individual ones in here, and then this is just a complete mass of little plants that I'm just picking every so often. Now these runner beans here haven't come up particularly well. They are looking a little bit sad, so I don't know I will plant them out, but I'm not holding out much hope for them. These ones, on the other hand, are looking fantastic, so I'm really pleased with those. Again, there's some stuff here that's been eaten by slugs, so I will just recycle that compost, and I have got an absolute ton of this chicory, so I'm not even worried about it. More kind of junk and stuff here. Still haven't put the table and chairs together. Now that will be a project for July, for when this becomes a seating area. So we're in the pergola now, and I moved my Japanese maple because it was getting scorched by the sun, so that's now in a semi-shady spot, which it was originally actually at the start of the year. I moved it because I thought I could do with some more space on the pergola, but actually it's fine, the Japanese maple is back. Along here we've got some jasmine that's flowering nicely. And the honeysuckle and akebia are going crazy up here. One day I will put some chicken wire up there just to hold it all in place. And then I've still got this little seating area that I think I showed you last time, where I basically will sit and have my lunch and my dinner and just look down my garden. So at the bottom of the pergola steps then, I have got some beautiful roses that are blooming in the hedging. There's this fantastic peach one. It's a bit bright out here to pick up the colour properly. Beautiful peach rose that was just bought from the pound shop and smells really strong and really beautiful. There's some dog roses that are kind of growing in amongst the hedging over there. And then here we've got these gorgeous bright red roses, again just £1 from the pound shop. I bought them years ago and they are still healthy and going strong. The hedging that I showed you last month has started to thicken out. It's deciduous hedging, so it looks a little bit sparse and bare over here in the winter, but obviously once we hit spring and early summer it starts to look fantastic. Now I've got strawberries here that are growing all down the path. All I did was I cleared the ones that were getting in the way, and then these ones I'm keeping for this year, and they will flower and fruit along the path, and then I will move them at the end of the season and position them somewhere more sensible. They were originally in this bed, but they've kind of spread with their runners down my path. So this bed I don't think had been cleared last time I showed you it. I have got a few bluebells left to clear out of the way, but apart from that, that's done. This soil is not in great shape, but it's a very sunny spot, as you can probably see. So I am going to plant some outdoor cucumbers along here and some runner beans, so some vegetables that are going to fruit. A sunny spot is a really good place for them. I'm going to nourish the soil with either some compost or some feed, or possibly both. And hopefully next month on the tour you will see some plants growing in this spot. Okay, to the left of the steps then, again we've got some bluebells that are just dying down that I will pull out and tidy up. There is a strawberry plant down there that has white strawberries on it. That's flowering nicely, or has flowered rather, and the fruit is now forming. The peonies you have missed, they have gone over and I have deadheaded those, but they were, you can see down there, they were really stunning, dark, deep, rich pink. My eucalyptus tree is just about surviving. I'll show you that better when we're a bit further away from it. Berberis is doing great. The plant that I keep forgetting the name of, that's coming back to life. Down here I've just got, in this little shady area, some leafy veg that is growing, and I will plant some other veg out in these gaps that there are in the bed. This middle section here again is starting to look a little bit more lively. We've got the bright red berberis at the back there. There are some other beautiful acid yellow plants. There's this bright yellow grass, these lovely red roses, and actually what I've sown are a load of pot marigolds that are in bright yellow and orange colours, and I will simply plant those into the gaps. They'll be a really great plant to have in amongst vegetables and things anyway, because it will help to keep pests and diseases away. Bamboo is doing fine. We've got those lilies that I hate that are doing okay. I still haven't cut this tree down properly yet, but the ladders are there waiting. I have cleared pretty much the rest of this bed to the left of the apple tree. If you come here, you can see that my beautiful rambling roses are trailing down nicely there. They're looking fantastic. I have a slight problem though in that I pruned the apple tree and I removed a lot of the branches that the rambling rose was resting on and growing through, and I hadn't cut the rambling rose back to match the way I had pruned the apple tree, so it's kind of keeling over this year. But once it's finished flowering, I will prune it back quite hard this year. I'll also take a lot of cuttings from it because it's a rose that my late nan bought for me, and I really want to make sure that I always have it with me for the rest of my life, and that means taking some cuttings just to be on the safe side. Then come to the bits that I haven't done. So we've got some nice brambles and some weeds and all sorts of things here. There is a herb down there. There's a few other little plants, but this whole section here still needs clearing, as does the base of the apple tree, and honestly the right hand side of it. I have the most incredible collection of brambles you ever did see in your life. One of my next projects is actually going to be to sort this bird table out. I want to paint it a really nice cream or white or something quite bright, something that looks like it would belong in a Victorian garden. That's going to get done fairly soon, and then I'm going to place it in one of these gaps. There's a gap there, there's a gap the other side, and I'm going to pop it in there. That is a pile of weeds on my path. Everything is still very, very untidy and very much a work in progress. Right, let's come over here. And this is the next big project. Now, I talked about this last time. I have got a lot to do here. This whole sort of corner section is going to become a vegetable plot at some point soon. So my next small projects are basically to continue sowing seeds, get some more into that cold frame up there, and also sort out the bird table and put the table and chairs together. The biggest project though that I've got to start working on in June is sorting out this bed here, because I've got lots of plants that are ready to go outside into this vegetable plot. I just haven't cleared the ground and sorted it out yet. Let's have a look in this little cold frame, shall we? These were the ones that I kind of dug out of the trash and decided that they would last for another year. So we've got some disastrous tomatoes there that have only just come up. I don't think any of the basil has actually come up. This is mainly weeds and this needs sorting out. Cabbage seedlings, I've pricked out quite a lot of those. I still might prick out some more of them. They did fantastically well. Over here I have got some tomatoes. They are going to be very, very late though this season, but I have got an idea about how I might still get some fruit out of them even though they are very behind where they should be. Welsh onions are doing fine, and there's some parsley over there as well, so that's all looking good. In here, look, I've got loads of that chicory that I said had been eaten by the slugs, so I'll be putting some more of that out soon and protects it a bit better. There are some cabbage plants here, there's a few lettuces, there's loads of runner beans. What else have we got at the end there? Oh, there's some outdoor cucumbers there. So there's going to be plenty really for the size of garden that I've got, and any leftovers will go to the allotment. And then this is just my small little vegetable plot that I started. It's got a stray potato plant or two left over from last year that I have just left them alone. There's some runner beans that are growing up the old heated towel rail, and I've also got some bamboo canes as well just to form a tripod too, so they will be happy there. There's a row of radishes. There's also some beetroot coming up along here. There's a little bit of the salad rocket coming up, but it's not really extended down the row, so I will pop a couple, 2 or 3 other little plants along there instead to fill the gap. Garlic chives, again, just a little bit of success along here. A lot of the seeds that I've been using have been old seeds, so germination hasn't been particularly good. And the same here with the coriander, a little bit of germination at the top there, but the rest of the row was completely blank, so I've popped a couple of lettuces in, and I'll probably put some more in the other gaps that I've got. There's a few little radishes growing there. There's some mixed salad leaves and herbs growing along there, which I will start to use soon. There's some carrots in a little row that are just starting to germinate, and then there's this summer broccoli that is doing fantastically well, and the reason why that is so advanced compared to everything else is that my neighbour gave those to me. And a little sneaky peek at her garden, you can't really see it through the hedging. She has just turned over her entire garden to growing vegetables, and so she grows lots of things undercover, and she just had some leftovers that she donated my way. And then finally we have all of this. So a bonfire heap that's completely covered in belbine, all of that leftover wood, all kinds of stuff down here, a compost heap that I can barely get to, and piles and piles of just debris and branches and things that need sorting out. Now I should be able to start having bonfires soon, which have been banned up until now because of the coronavirus and people's sort of symptoms that they might have, problems with their breathing and so on. So I will be able to burn some of this. I might also invest in a shredder and chipper. I might have mentioned this before, and just kind of use the chippings then on the rest of the garden as a mulch. That might be quite a nice thing to do. I have done that before, but not for probably about 5 or 6 years. Hello, it's me again. I thought I would finish off the video from here rather than outside, so you get to see my face again and me saying thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the garden tour, and I hope that you'll come back again in June. I'm probably going to leave a shorter gap between this garden tour and the next one because, as I'm sure you realise, everything starts kicking off in the garden. Another thing that I'm going to do, and I can't remember if I mentioned it in the tour itself, I'm going to take some photographs of things that happen, things that come into bloom or look amazing during the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks, so that I can put those into my next video, because I don't want you to miss anything. I suppose I could actually film some short clips as well, couldn't I, and pop those in. Anyway, I'm waffling. Thank you very much for joining me. If you are interested in more gardening videos and also some vlogs that I'm going to be putting on this channel, then please make sure you are subscribed, hit the notification bell, and make sure it's clicked onto the part where it says that you get all of the notifications when they come through, not just the personalized ones, because otherwise you will miss some videos, and I don't want that to happen. So until next time, bye.